in this run. What we're going to want to do, I think, is when we get that backpack torch, is get a shield, so we have a passive damage reduction. I think that's... I was wondering what the meaning for these were, because your torch, you don't need them, but it means that if you light them, you can then not have the torch and have a shield, I guess. We don't need the watering can. Let's see what we've got food-wise. We don't have much else. Oh, that's fine. Let's... What we'll do is we'll let our hunger hold our max health for this part of the journey. And then when we get down into the tougher section, I'm tempted just to leave this because we're going to need better quality stone. Or not like with the ones with coal or iron in it. We do need to fill up though. That's the thing. We definitely need to fill up. But if I'm going to hit some, I want to get the ones with the bonus stuff in it. That'll also regulate not the pace. It'll keep us going through a bit faster. That one looks like a... Oh, I thought that was going to be a coal. I don't know if I want to go back down over that way or this... Yeah, I think we do. Oh, take a shortcut across the Now, I haven't found a big guy spawner. Only the small and medium guys. Should hopefully find a campfire. I'd like to use that instead of my food, using food for hunger. Oh, I know where it is, but... Oh, first death. Huh. And that's from... There's a longer way in, which I think is easier. So what happens when you die? Seemingly nothing. Interesting. It's definitely being too hasty there. Unless... I don't know. Alright, well... We'll do that again, except without the exact thing happening. So the way we went there... was the That was a really quick way to get into the Forgotten City. And then involved jumping over the river. And coming in through the top, and you get those big guys. There's two of the big guys. The first time we went in, it was more of a way that I don't think we ever had two of the big guys. Yeah, and the way I'd gone previously was, I think, down through this way. Grab that light shard, yeah. And this hay gave a more, I think going across the top there would get you to the way we just went. I think down here are two dead ends, right? Oh no, there's a path. Oh, where's the bonfire? It's ages away. Is that still active? Yeah, okay. Let's check for some coal. Three big dudes. Well, come on, one at a time then. Just looking for a... see if there's a brazier, because health is good. I know there's one much further up and left. So I might just run up to it. I don't think... Hey Fargons, how you doing? Oh, that's where the, yeah, that guy's stuck on the island. Yeah, good, good. This dude's a little too thirsty for it, mate. There you go. Right, so it's a little bit of a trek up to this campfire, but it's fine. Need to grow more watermelon, I think. Or something else. I don't know, I like watermelon. I took out the first one. That's not too bad. Oh, I remember that. Oh, it's not a barrel. So there's a campfire down here somewhere. And if he's not coming... I don't have any grapes, do I? Nope. I think there was a campfire close to that big guy, but not worth the risk. How punishing is death in the game? Well, we had our first death just before, and there was no noticeable loss. I just went back to my bed with all my supplies. But I don't know... I didn't keep good account of what I had, but it didn't look like I'd lost any of my inventory. And there's no experience, so can't lose that. Hey Bonfire, how you doing, man? It sounds stuffy. Yeah, I've got a little bit of a thing. Could be from my I had jab 2 yesterday. But I was up really late doing the cake decorating. There was a fire here. I was more worried that there was more guys, and taking on this guy with a fire would have been okay. No, look, we would have been dead, I think. Is the dungeon repopulated each time you turned? Yes. Someone said you eventually get to a shortcut, like a different exit that, so you can enter from there, but I haven't found it yet. But it's sort of broken up into, it's kind of basically 3 different paths that I've found you can take to get to the same sort of advanced location. So one of them, you come in from this side. The second one, you come in from the top. I think. And then there's another one. Okay. No, this is different. Yeah, I don't know. I get a bit... I kind of know my way around, but not really. Hey, Valkyrie. Oh. Getting mobbed. Come on, fellas. Come back to where I can heal myself. Uh-oh. This is not where I can heal myself. He goes up that one. Yep. Thanks, Valkyrie. Yeah. The baking went by really quickly. The decorating. Took a while. I think I already had a look in there. So there's that barrier we came up to. We came up to it on Thursday. And I made the assumption like, oh, there's some sort of force field there. So we went looking another way. I didn't even think of the possibility that it's a boss arena. I don't think we would have been ready for a boss if it is. But, you know, that's... So this is the other path we'd just come down before. So we died. Where did we die? It was somewhere near here, wasn't it? Oh, no, we came down that way. Right, we did that lap. I don't know now. Seem to have no shoes on. That's one of the character creation choices. Do you wear shoes? No? Definitely not. So, I noticed that the other day, and I think that might also be contributing to what caused us our death today, was we were sort of carefully nudging forward and we had a spawn-in point. So yeah, that's the. I think the first time we got this far, we came in from down there. Oh, nice, Valk. Yeah. You beat threat level 2. Nice, man. Well, I mean, you're probably at the stage where you've maxed out your ammo searching, right? And did you have your scavenging penalty, or did you take different penalties for threat level 2? Also, now that we're down here, like we were supposed to get materials for better items, but down in this far, when you're in more the city, there's a lot less stone nodes. They're all up at the top section. Well, probably not all of them. Yeah, I agree with you too, Buff. I think though, once you get the hang of in Last Stand what you're supposed to do, and then how to play it, it becomes very formulaic. What are we hunting for? Well, two things. One's just to go a bit further in the dungeon than we'd been before, which is rough because on Thursday, the last run we did, we sort of came down one side, did a loop, and went up a different side, and then kind of went down the middle to have a look around and clear, like did a full clear, because I made the assumption that the force field was or the force field looking barrier thing was a force field barrier. I don't think it is. I think it might actually be a boss arena that a little guy got a shot in. Yeah, so maybe we need to like walk through that and see if there's a boss fight. That's death if we go there. I know in the past when I sort of got to these areas I didn't light the fires because I was saving coal. I'm just going to sneak past these guys and get back to my campfire. I also wanted to get do some stone mining, but I was kind of hoping to. I skipped a few at the start because the last time we came through too, we filled up our bags, and and then we're coming up to the good nodes. So, faster, dude, faster. There we go. So I was having to hit these nodes and not get any of the iron. Or any of the stone. We're just getting iron, which is not bad, but you know, I want to convert the stone into iron at our forge. Okay, so I think it looks like we are checking out this potential boss fight. Or arena or whatever it is. Should at least fill up your health pens. There we go. Well, this isn't too bad. I'm not in a good spot. Oh. Nah, mobbed. Okay, so there's 4 things. You've obviously got to take them out because they're spawning more enemies, and there's some big guys. So you could just use... Someone was saying that they went through... I don't think it was that one. They were talking about a boss fight and they used X amount of food as potions. And it led me to think of 2 things. Either they're really bad or the combat's designed around you are going to take a lot of hits, so you need to have healing potions to account for that. Because you've got limited rolls. You can't just constantly be rolling. And the big guys are a little bit faster than you if you're just running. Either way, I don't think either of those are positive outcomes. And there's no levels, so what we can do though is farm. We all like to farm, don't we? Well, the watermelons aren't ready. Scythe the food. Well, those ones aren't ready. And when I went to use the scythe before, it wouldn't. So hopefully I can get it to work. Oh, it's not ready. They're not ready either. Oh, it's an ability button. That might make sense, but they're not ready, so I'm not going to do it. But you can manually just grab them. Okay. How has the game been? I like it. But... And the systems work, and it's nice, and it's calm, which I think is why I like it. But there's just no substance. Like, it's just so shallow. And the combat is... combat. They've got this, like, they've got a crit timer, like you see this little circle show up, and if you click again, you do a crit, right? And sometimes I do it, but for the most part I can't be bothered. I just hold down to chop the trees. How much wood do I need? That's enough. And the upgrade system, like, it works for building and crafting. But that's all it, you know. Yeah, they put in a, the studio's got a job listing. I think the problem is, and not with the game, but I think with the early access launch, anyone who checks it out through someone else, you're going to get this result. It's okay, but there's nothing there. You know, I think there's... Like, I sort of dragged out the play on Thursday for 8 hours, and we'll drag it out today, but I'll probably have everything done. Now, I probably won't have all the... there's other weapons and items you can get. Where's the list? But these ones you get from basically giving the material for the item to the someone. So there's a person in town that has the mace, and you can see the item requirements. So you can either go farm, you can go farm them or buy them. So it's really just getting those, but you don't do anything special for them. I don't know about the exotic ones. I know there's a pirate in town. I'm assuming he's got the pirate. There's a druid person. There's the fisherman. So you just go to them and say, okay, what items do I need? Or you fill up your bags and go get the item. But to do that, all you do is just farm the resources. Or if you've got a really good farming resources setup happening, you sell them and then buy the resources you need. You know, so you can choose a little bit. And like I said, it all works fine. It's just... That's it. Just does what it does. I wanted to get a lot more material because I do want to get this shield and backpack thing. So I need 50 iron and 50 coal. And yeah, it looks like there's no death penalty. I don't know if it's intended. I didn't really get much stuff. Okay, so I need to... So we can go down into the dungeon to get the iron, which means I'll also get some dark matter. But I can just start farming stuff here. Although fighting stuff is more fun. Yeah. So basically we're just going to fill up on stone, I think. And once we fill up on stone, we'll just come back out. And we should get some iron chunks while we do that as well. Actually, I should leave as soon as I get enough. Let's, and we can calculate this. And all I want to do is get the backpack light first. So 50 coal and 50 iron. Oh, what about the pick as well? 100 iron? The 10 roses are growing. Although I'd probably just buy them because it's easier. 130, okay. Alright, we could probably just get that. I have to change the scythe out for my torch, but we can do that in here. Yeah, so I think when the an early access launch needs to have enough stuff. It's not an easy pick, right? But you need to have enough stuff where people can see the potential. They've got to be able to have enough there to warrant picking it up, because people will ask, you know, should I get it now? And most of the time, early access titles, it's always, well, it depends what you think of early access and blah blah blah. But I think for me, this one's just a no. It's good and it's really fun, but after sort of 8 hours-ish, there's nothing left to do. And as I'm finding out. Probably because there's nothing left to do and we're sort of just doing. The good and its fun part is because it's new game when you pick up a new game, and it works. Unfortunately not because it's special or fun. Since I'm just farming and there's no death penalty, I'm not going to worry about filling up my hunger because it's irrelevant. Although that probably and this is, I think, that's probably enough of a tell for me. I'm going to die again because I don't care, since there's no death penalty and all I'm doing is farming, which will reset the mine anyway. So we'll just run back down and farm again. So there's like zero like urgency or necessity to care about death. And that's the other thing too, if there was now an imposed death penalty, I'd just sort of be like, okay, well, I just need to be a lot more careful, and I'd just play really dull and boringly, and then I definitely wouldn't be having fun. Is there a campfire somewhere? It's definitely in a good position where they can build on it. They just need to build on it. How much progress is lost on death? Okay, and I think that is in regards to the fact that dungeon repopulates if you die. You lose just as much progress if you hit one of the warp stones and leave. Yeah, don't listen to Steam reviews. People that... yeah, I'm going to say it. Vast majority of Steam reviews are from idiots. And you don't really lose that. Well, here's a good example of progress lost on death. The dungeon really isn't that big. Yeah, so you just haven't lost that much progress. Because it only takes minutes to get back to where you were. If that, you know. So more likely, they were playing with underpowered items because they hadn't upgraded. I don't know. They got to a spot like here where that big dude is really tough. Especially if you're coming down and, oh look, there's a shortcut there. I wouldn't want to try and take that. That'd be brutal. You're going to die there. Yeah, people make bad decisions in games and then blame the game. Maybe they never made a bed. Yeah, maybe. But you're not that far from the dungeon start. Like, and that's the thing. Like, I put a bed down somewhere, and then I put a bed down somewhere else. I didn't cry and go, oh, but I already put my bed down. Let's just keep playing in a bad location. I just went and put a different bed down. Right? And then I put another bed down. When I found I'm like, oh, I should just put the bed in front of the dungeon because it seems like it's the only, we're going to be here a while. And then if we move, I'll just make another bed, It's like, there are a lot of games where, especially this style of game where you're crafting and making a little, like a mini base. People want to get 100% value out of everything they put down, which means they don't want to rebuild, unless they can move stuff or whatnot. It's like, sometimes you're just going to have to create stuff multiple times in multiple locations. Or you can cry about it. And that's what they do. They get on Steam and they cry about it. What they need to do is just say, look, I'm a really crappy gamer, and this is my take. So if you're a really crappy gamer too, then maybe you'll find these struggles like I did. Okay, it's right back at the start. Go over the top. Are you playing Icarus? What do you think of it? I watched a bit of the, like, early days stuff, when I think it was it last week or just the end of the week before, and there was just too many people, for me, struggling to get it to play properly. You don't feel it's complete, they should release it in early access. It sucks when you... A lot of games are being like that these days, right? It's funny because then... I mean, developers are going to get it rough no matter what, because they release a game in early access, and people are like, they shouldn't have put it into early access without these features. Runs fine, you got a 3090. Yeah, well the thing is too, when someone said that, because I was thinking about looking at it and they're like, oh, you've only got a 20 series. I'm like, only got a 20 series. Like, that's not a bad state to be in, right? And they're like, yeah, but people that are like trying to run it are having to turn the settings way down and the game's not looking like it's not, apparently it wasn't looking good. I don't know if they've made some fixes or tweaks or whatever, but it was looking like, it was being run on low settings. I'm like, that's kind of terrible that if you've got to turn the settings down and they don't look good on a 20 series, like you should still be, if your game is so good looking at the high level on a 30 series, bringing it down to what a 20 series could do, it should still look like a 20 series game, right? Get up the stairs, Lenny. Woo! That animation, man. The only other thing that worried me is that, and what do you think? Like, a lot of people are saying it's not single player viable. And I mean, not is probably a tough word to say, but you know, you could probably do some stuff, I'm guessing is the takeaway from that, but you're not going to be able to do a lot of things. Or the good stuff, or I don't know. But I don't multiplayer. You don't know about that? Okay. That's always one that's tough to judge from, oh, okay, this is, I don't know where we are now. When people say, it's like, well, how reliant are you on the... because it's party-based, drop in, drop out, I guess the only sort of benchmark you have is kind of like Warframe. You play 50-50 solo. Do you do randos? Or do you have friends playing? You got mates, okay. Because that was the thing with, that sort of the final nail in the coffin for me on Warframe was the people I did know that played weren't available often enough in the time that I play. Occasionally they would be, and it'd be really good, you know, playing with mates, right? And good players, so that's a bonus as well. And some of the randos, to be fair, like you drop into into a pug, and a lot of the community are pretty good players, but it's just not the same, right? And it really comes down to the game. And for me, with Warframe, the game itself wasn't good enough to grind out crap with randos, you know. Whereas it was okay to get on a Discord call or in a group channel with friends, and we'd just be sitting there, you know, talking as if we were sitting on the couch next to each other, having a beer or two, you know. And the game was so mind-numbingly simple that it didn't matter if you got distracted in your conversation, you know. It was... But no matter how simple it was, a lot of the stuff you couldn't solo. Or it was really, really tedious. You know, put YouTube on and don't pay attention, in which case then I may as well be playing EVE Online. You like the multiplayer system in it? Okay. I'm gonna have to keep an eye on it then, because one of the fears that goes forward with that is what happens when the interest is gone, and because I'm relying on just queuing up with randos, and the multiplayer isn't there anymore. Or isn't as strong. That, and I'm in Australia, so I've got to play either on Europe, which sucks, or America, which sucks a little less, with latency, or sit in queue forever because no one plays video games in Australia, and when they do, it's definitely not at this time of night. There's no queues? Okay. It's max 8 players, yep. I think that's the river we jumped earlier when we had our first death. So I wonder if our body's still there, if we can check it out. And see if there's any loot on them. I don't think there is. Hello, campfire. We got that hit in. It's so low. Two hit points. But again, apart from the fact that I want to just I don't want to keep farming the same node over and over again. But death, yeah, seemingly doesn't matter. So then do you drop in with people at the start? And is it a new world? Persistent world? Maybe now that it's more stable, I should probably check out some more streams. Because the problem was when in the first day that it was available, and I just had it on in the background, I just waited until whoever was playing raged or complained too much, and then just changed to a different streamer. And I would have been in, I don't know, 20 different streams. Icarus, bonfire. And I'm like, wow, this is like, we're getting a lot of hate here. And I'm like... When you join a server, your character becomes tied to that expedition. You're free to drop out, back in. The world is specific for you and those connected to that expedition. So what's the expedition? Like, what happens? Can you beat the expedition and then you can't join back up again? Okay, so they spawn in just to frighten you there. I don't know if I like that. I don't like it. Come on, dude, chase me back to the campfire. Oh, you're in my world now, buddy. You knock out a T3? Nice. If I'm not enjoying the game, why not swap another? The thing is, I am enjoying it. And like part of it is playing games out to see if they change and be able to talk to people that want to check it out as well. There's one little arena section that I want to see what it takes to beat. So I'm going to see if we have the backpack light and the shield, if that'll be enough to beat it and go forward, because I want to see what's there. But then, because then I can assess what it takes you with a new character to get there. You know, I can evaluate how grindy it is versus, you know, could I have done something differently that, and then I have to look back. Is that something differently that was obvious, or something that I'm using hindsight to? I don't know what that's like. You've beaten the spawning dude's music. And a lot of it's curiosity. Like, I just want to see what is there around the corner. But like my honest evaluation at the moment is it feels that a lot of the playtime availability comes from an inflated amount of farming, grinding, gathering, whatever you want to call it. You need to do at the start. All right, we're gonna have another crack at this arena since we're here. Since we know there's no death penalty and I've got a good chunk of stuff. we'll be able to make the like the shield or the backpack upgrade, not the backpack, the torch upgrade. When we get to oh, let's eat that. Does mean I've got no heals right now though, but do I care? No. No, get out. No. Still 3 big guys, but I got down 2 of the things. The host of the server is whoever gets back online first. Okay, so... right. And then if they drop out, does it change to someone else instead of dropping out the session? So yeah, the missions. You have an objective. When you're done, you fly back to the station. Right. Okay, so you pick the mission you want to do. Can you choose to do a... so if you want to do a fresh one, you have to launch it yourself, and then people drop in and go, yep, I want to do that. I'll go do that with that guy. Okay, they're ready to go. Got it. Is there a waiting time? Like when you say, I'm going to start this one, is there like a queue time where you can wait for people to so that they can join in at the very beginning? Or do you just go in and you're there now? Oh. Okay, so they're done. Just start it up. I guess then it comes down to what you want out of it. So my first instinct was to say, oh, if that was the case, I don't think I'd ever join someone else's because I want to play from the start. But then I know that's not true because there's going to be something where you just want the reward. So you'd be wanting to, like, do you want the final boss loot? So you're happy to, okay, let's scythe it up. You have 6 real world days. How long does it take to do the expedition? Scythe is abilities only. That seems kind of rough. And because there's no control, you could potentially get the wrong crop here. Some half an hour, some many hours. So what happens if you start a mission that's going to take like 3 hours, and after an hour you stop and leave, and the people that had joined finish it? And then you come back to your computer later and you're like, hang on, where's all my... So did death... okay, did death cause me all... Right, okay. Hang on, this stuff didn't go down. Okay. What you lose on death are these materials. You don't lose food and farming on death. But you lose... okay, so that is a death penalty. And it sucks. The real question is, can I get it back? And I don't know. It just completes the mission for you. Yeah, I mean, not that you'd want to... I'm not suggesting people would, you know, cheat or anything. or not cheat, but sort of play the system. But I'm saying, like, if you actually wanted to play it and it got played out without you. You wouldn't be able to return to the planet once the objective is complete? Because it's done? I'm wondering if I want watermelons. I've got some more there. These looks like the farm plots. Like, these look dry, but once I put them in, they look like they're... Oh, I didn't put any grapes back on there. Once the host size back to base is done and dusted, yeah, mission's over with. Hey, Techno-Tarot Gamers, it's a survival crafter. It does look good and it plays okay. It's just very bland. And there's it's early access and there's an extremely little amount of content. But it visually looks good. Definitely not denying that. Is it a survival kind of game? Yes. So you gather resources and build stuff and manage your food and inventory. We've also got flowers because apparently we need roses for this tier of weapon. Our sword was made with roses. So it just wants to smell pretty? Well, doesn't everyone? Alright, so we have discovered that there is a death penalty. Which means I don't want to fight that other fight now. So there's a bit of a repetitive loop. The starter mission's basic, AoE, sync, keep time, building, crafting. Right. And your character, like, meta progression, level up sort of deal? So I do have a crappy shield. But I can't, I need the backpack light. It does have a 15% passive block, which is pretty nice, actually. Which is why I want to get the backpack lamp. Which is why I farmed up all that stone. And then we lost it. And coal. Okay, so we got 2 jobs to check on when we go in this time. One, I want to get to where I died and see if my body's there. Especially since I farmed up a lot of stuff. I don't want to die because death penalty actually exists. Speaking of survival games, we're going to check out Breakwaters tomorrow. It went into early access the other day. And depending on how we like that, or how much content there is. Witchwood, full released. So we're going to check that out. Which means Valheim still sits on the top of the not new games to check out, but we've had new games. So we check them out. Do I lose all the dark essence I gathered? We do. Okay, that's sellable for a high amount. So that's kind of poop that happened. No, I haven't played Valheim yet. I didn't get around to it when it was all hype, and it was probably a good thing I didn't either, because it was too many people playing it anyway. Yeah, see... So what do you think happens with Icarus then? The system sounds pretty good. It sounds pretty good for now. What happens when there's a lot less people playing it? Do you think there'll still be enough where people will jump into your missions? Or will a lot of people just be starting their own missions, hoping people, like, to get what they want, hoping people will join them? You don't play with rando, so you don't care. So does that mean when your friends are like, yeah, I'm done with this, even if you're not, you are? You solo on. Right. So that then, I guess the next point is, if you get to a stage where solo becomes less viable. Now, here's the thing. We really need to push on to where our body was and try and find it sooner. Because we might be... I don't know if we'll be full on any of the items. But I'd rather find out if our body's there with loot or not. However, if it's in the arena, we don't get it. And I'm okay with that. Pink. Campfire's up and to the left. Play Valheim over Icarus? Okay. Yeah, Icarus sounds like it's got a lot of the good things. I guess that's the only worry I have, is that if it gets to a point... I've played a lot of games which are soloable early days. And then the further you get, become less so. And even if you get, and then you get stronger, like whether it be level up or gear or something, and it makes it a little bit more viable, but then becomes less so again. Oh, how does it, do missions scale in difficulty in some way with extra people? Go ahead and keep our hunger up, hunger not drained, because I definitely don't want to die. No. Okay, so, and a lot of games do that, which, like scaling with multiple players is tough, because there's going to be times where players aren't near each other, so you can't have things be super tough. And just making enemies, I don't know, twice as many hit points because you've got two people there, that's not the same. Yeah, so multiplayer would just go a lot faster then, right? Is there big bad boys down here? Okay, so that's the arena. I can't see my corpse in there. I definitely don't want to run in there. You know what? I never tried to run out, but I doubt you can, right? Because... I think I died, like, over here-ish. So it looks like there's no backpack or anything where I can pick up my whatever I dropped. So yeah, the death penalty is... So in terms of progress lost, I don't think you lose much in dungeon, but if you're farming and it returns this section to what it was before you came in. So you could have farmed up a lot of materials and then died. In which case then you were gambling, you were pushing the limits too far. In zones with limited resources, more people doesn't really make it easy. Oh, do you get your own, keep your own resources that your character physically goes and gets? Right. So yeah, in terms of that, if you're wanting, I guess, can you limit? Can you say I don't want anyone joining? Alright, so we're going to need more coal. Well, I've got enough coal. Oh, probably a bit more of that. I'm definitely going to need more stone. So instead of, like, being down here, we need to go back up through the main section because that's where the stuff is. But instead of going, we may as well just... And this is... Yeah, may as well just restart instead of, like, grinding our way up. Start at the top. Oh, yeah, okay. So if you're wanting to do a thing where you harvest resources, you just go pick one and go farm it up, right? And the talent tree also has a solar tree. Nice. So I guess the next part of it is, am I going to feel like I missed out by not starting when everyone else started? If I go for the join later play. Usually that doesn't matter. Wonder if I just harvested those. Accidentally. I don't know. You don't think so? Okay. Is it in seasons? Are they doing battle pass things? Huh. Like, I just want to get rid of these trees because they're impeding my view. But I can't collect the stuff. I'll just put it in the furnace. Okay. So we can kill monsters. Or we can walk the shore and just get these ones. We want limestone and clay as well. Clay we just sell. Limestone we break down. There's also a sandbox endless mode. Nah. Not really into that stuff. It's good for people that are. I like quests and missions and story. Objectives. I'm a simple Panz. Okay, so I could be wrong, but it feels like there's just a higher density of stone not in the dungeon. Well, granted, you don't get any essence, but you don't have to fight anything, and there's 0 chance of death, and I can harvest roses. Up here, instead of planting them. Right, so they're the rose spawn. Okay, so it feels like just walking the overworld is going to get us all the stuff we need to do the things. Except whatever we need the void stuff for. Alright, man. Thanks for dropping by. Have a good one. Yeah, well, it'll be... It's cool and cozy, I guess. I hope they put more stuff in because it seems like it's got a lot of potential. It's just whether they, I don't know. I don't know what they needed out of early access. If they needed a lot of people to pick it up to say, yep, it's interesting, so they can put more effort into it, or put more content. Sorry, not effort. Or if they're looking at feedback, I don't know. But I really hope they get what they need because, you know, it seems like it could do well. Have a good weekend, man. What's left of it, I guess. Yeah. At any rate, so we're just gonna, I'm just gonna wander around and explore more of the stuff and harvest the things. Just see what's on offer. I don't think I need the bigger backpack. Except for wood. Which would be good though, because then we can chop down trees and sell the wood in town. Yeah, it's good to support Aussie devs. Oh, speaking of which, like, The Last Stand Aftermath. Con Artist Games from somewhere over east. Freaking amazing. Hey man, thanks for the sub. Appreciate it. You can't stop playing. I was like that with Last Stand as well. I couldn't put it down. And I think some of the bugs... Yeah, no, appreciate the support, dude. Thanks so much. definitely some bugs, and it sounds really harsh. It's actually few bugs. The problem is they're very consistent. Last Stand was a Flash series from way back. There was like 5 games, and this is and they've got a legacy version. Like for an extra, I think $6 Aussie, you get like they ported them for non-Flash, I guess. But the new one, it's just 60 hours. Like I would have apart from passing out, I would have played through straight. But we did 60 hours stream time without touching anything else, I think, and I just loved it. It was great. It was really well designed. Ooh, what's this? You know what I reckon this is? I think that's that extra exit from the dungeon. I think you got to get to it downstairs. And then it probably makes it available. Yeah, so I think with the bonfire, it's not that there's lots of bugs. It's that the 2 or 3 bugs that are evident happen so frequently. Yeah, Last Stand Aftermath. It's like Rogue Legacy with zombies instead of cartoon ancestors. So twin stick shooter isometric. Yeah, I can't rave about it enough. It was so good. Yeah, so you leave Union City as the first thing you do. And there's like, every now and then there's little bits from other characters that apparently were in the previous games and stuff. And one of the nods that I didn't realize at the very start, it says at some point it gives you some story of what happened, and it says 15 years later. Which is potentially 15 years from the first game. No, with that bonfire, I think, yeah, there was a beep. I would hear a beep every now and then as well, and I couldn't work it out. It wasn't the landmine beep. It was like a singular beep. Occasionally, though, there is the like the car bomb beep. Achievement unlocked, cleaning up. Oh, there you go. And I think that's when your car drives past one. That might be out of the play area. But I wouldn't say the inventory thing with the weapon attachments is a bug. I think that's just poorly implemented and or designed more than anything else. I think that one needed a like a drag and drop or a shift click, so that when you put the attachment from your attachments list onto that weapon, it's no longer in the list. Which, I mean, the downside of that is if you swap weapons and you're like, oh, where's all the attachments? You've got to take them off the other weapon. But that's what you do in every other game. You've had your inventory go invisible when talking to the vendor. Yeah, that was one I noticed. I would always, when I got to the first vendor, I would sell all my melee weapons, or all the stuff that I wasn't using, you know, like boards and clubs and stuff if I had claws. And I would almost immediately, and duplicate guns. And then without even doing anything else, I would then exit the vendor and re-go into the vendor. It's almost like it had an item limit like it would only load X amount of items. Possibly, and I think that could be related to, I don't know why you'd limit that to only open X amount, but it could be because, you know, we're going around with 200 or 300 encumbrance. Severo! I'm alive. How are you? So I think it's silly that if you're going to put a, I mean, you've got to declare, you don't have to, but you probably want to declare an inventory, like a array limit, instead of generating runtime. But you could just arbitrarily set that really high and have empties. Yeah, it feels good to be back. I missed yesterday. Everything was going great. And then time just got away. I'd tell you I posted pics of the cakes in Discord, but... well, I'll tell you anyway. I posted pics of the cake in Discord. So we got a lot of clay, which sells reasonably. We got a lot of limestone, which we convert to glass, which then sells reasonably as well. Didn't actually get that much stone. Well, hello, miss. Come here. No? Oh, been snubbed. Dog's like, you got anything better? Big Sag. You'll need to get a burner phone. Or one of those, you get one of those micro laptops that are really only good for, like, Office and Google Docs and emails and stuff. They're actually not bad, but they, you know, they don't do very well with anything more than just internet browsing. And things like Google Docs, and I mean, I don't even like running Windows on them because they have, you know, such little space, but... do we even need the fiber? Oh, there's a... is that clay? No, that's a thing. Boof. Oh, boof. Hey, so we're going to check out Breakwaters tomorrow. It looks fun. And then Witchwood in the coming week. Oh, it was clay. Okay, so farming the resources is definitely much quicker than growing it. Don't need any more clay. Stone. Stone we need. So what's going on with you, Severo? Can we destroy... oh. I just sleep while I'm here, I guess. There you go. Have a nice morning. Now, if I remember, we needed way too much money for the next upgrade. So we probably just won't be going for it. On the backpack, I should say. I think there's anything else that you just have to straight up buy. Oh, the June trilogy? Dude, I think it's like a June quintupleopology. So you've obviously got June, and then trying to think what would be. I can't think. I can't think of the other title names. It's like Absolute June or something like that. I like them all, but the first one was, you know, by far the best. I mean, the other ones had really good moments in them and other stuff. It was a cool story. Super Super, then the June crossover cars animated series for kids, June Buggy. Little blue Dune Buggy. Oh, it is. How you doing, Super Soup? Yeah, what else did you get for your birthday, Severo? You didn't tell us much about it. Very secretive. Don't know if we can condone that. Ciao. You can't put a great deal of some of the stuff you got in chat. Yeah, but Bonfire can say it, and it kind of feels okay, like that you're allowed to confirm it without actually confirming it. So people are like, yeah, he's not being serious, is he? Is he not? But if you just came out and said it, well, you probably could. You'd be like, because, you know, it's definitely an off-the-cuff remark, right?